Good evening. I would like to welcome everyone here this evening to the Honey Brook Board of Supervisors Reorganization and regular meeting for January 2024. My name is Beth Kohl. I am solicitor to the township currently. Before we formally call the meeting to order, I'd like to take a moment to welcome our newest elected Board of Supervisor member, Sal DiGiacomo, who is right here to my right. In accordance with requirements of law, Sal has already taken his required oath of office before a notary public, but for purposes of just a display to the public here in an open forum, we're going to have Sal again reiterate that oath on record here before the public. So, with that, Sal, do you, Sal DiGiacomo, solemnly swear or affirm that you will support, obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of this Commonwealth, and that you will discharge the duties of office as a member of the Board of Supervisors for Honey Brook Township, Chester County with fidelity? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
Thank you very much. So with that, I would move to this evening's agenda, and I would like to call the meeting to order. Again, I am serving as temporary chair for purposes of reorganization of the meeting tonight. I would ask everyone to please stand for the pledge to the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we'll start with announcements. In accordance with Township Resolution 2-2012, you're informed that Scott Stilson, Vincent Drive, is recording tonight's meeting for posting on YouTube. Also, this meeting is being live streamed and recorded electronically on the Zoom platform for viewing purposes only. Moving next to reorganization of the Board of Supervisors, I would like to open the floor for a motion to appoint a chairperson or chairman for the Board of Supervisors. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion to appoint Tracy Olson as chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor of electing Tracy Olson as chairman?
Aye.
All right. With that, Tracy, I will turn the meeting over to you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
On to item 2, election of vice chair. With the, what order were we going to take? It would be Laura. I'm sorry, Laura. So what we do is we just move the chair and the vice chair around accordingly every year. Everyone gets either as the chair or the vice chair, to be fair. Okay, make a motion for Laura to be vice chair.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. And just as an announcement, if anyone's here in regard to trash bags, that would be the Borough Hall meeting. But I think most of the people here look like regular township residents. Next, we have an open forum. When called, provide their name and address for the record. Anyone on this side of the room? Okay.
Good evening. Shane Haddon, North Friedel Road. So why do we should pledge at the beginning of these meetings? I think it's because it's in America. And well, what does that mean? The first thing is, in the last meeting, a rulemaking Zoom attendees unable to participate in these meetings was, to be frank, snuck in. William Penn wrote years ago, before this country was even founded, that in an ethical society, power is derived from people through open discourse. Discourse is conversation. The more we can have conversation in this room with each other, with you, as leaders, that's part of your responsibility. The more openness we can have in this room, the better things can run, the more people feel heard. if we're making rules that shut people out on Zoom, just because they can't make the drive up here every day, that is the opposite of open discourse, really. There are other countries out there in this world that aren't America that, are moving in that direction, or where people will get, outright punished for speaking their mind. So I hope that this township can take steps back towards open discourse in each meeting, so that, this can be a more American kind of place. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else on the same side of the river here on the right-hand side or my right-hand side that would like to make any comment? No? Left-hand side of the room? Okay. State your name and address, please.
Valerie Schultz, 165 Caitlin Court. First of all, the resolution indicated that the 3-minute time limit is for the open forum at the end of the meeting and not the beginning of the meeting, so that 3 minutes does not apply. I just wanted to ask, on the agenda for new business, item J, you have a bullet point there for appointment of a resident to the, a township resident to the sewer authority board. I'm aware that John McHugh had submitted my name as a nomination, and Warren Obenski had verified that it was received. So I'd like to know what the status of that application was.
Well, we haven't voted on that. I think that's in the agenda still, right? That's,
But all the other positions have an individual who is nominated to be appointed. And there's a blank space for that one. So I was just wondering why.
well, I think we're naturally going to get to it as part of the agenda, I believe. There were other people also.
So there were other people that were nominated as well? Okay, that's all I was wondering. And I was also informed by Kristy, thank you, that there is no auditors meeting this week. And the explanation was that that there were no township supervisors that were going to be also full-time employees. But according to the township of Class 2 size, it says that that the township shall conduct an auditor's meeting. So I'm kind of curious as to why we're not conducting an auditor's meeting. That was the information I was given. So can you clarify if that is not happening this week?
We told you that we were having an auditors meeting?
That every township is required to have an auditor's meeting. And it indicates that in the code of the Class 2 size township.
That sounds,
In section 901, it says that the Board of Auditors shall meet annually at the place meeting of the Board of Supervisors on the day following the designation by this act for organization of the Board of Supervisors. So it's conducted this week. It should be conducted every single year, that first week of January.
We'll take a look at that.
Okay. Thank you.
Just so you know, we haven't had an auditor's meeting in the 12 years I've been full-time.
Well, then we haven't been in compliance for 12 years.
Well, we haven't had any supervisors who are employees in that time.
There are other things that get decided.
I understand, I'm just letting you know.
okay.
Erin Hamel, 1025 Woods Road. Just a quick question. Item 4, you're establishing the following holidays for the township for 2024. I think there's 11 federal holidays. It looks like we have 12. Do we have an extra holiday? And can the township just elect to have more holidays? They could have.
I believe we are following the federal holiday standard, and the reason that we have to talk about it at the beginning is because the holiday dates change annually.
Like, so the day after.
I think the day after Thanksgiving is not a federal holiday.
Right.
That's the difference.
Correct.
So for a township could just pick, like, maybe all.
Yeah, the township can choose to pay employees as it sees fit, such as if it chooses to offer that as a employee benefit account.
No, I thought they followed the federal holidays, so wasn't clear on that. So the township will be shut down on Black Friday, and hopefully you'll get paid day off. Right?
Yeah, if it's a holiday, then we would be shut down on a holiday.
Is this the first time that this has been a holiday?
Yes.
Is it? Okay.
The county is closed the day after. A lot of places, right? A lot of governmental agencies are closed the day after Thanksgiving. A lot of municipalities close the entire week after Christmas. So, the township can establish whatever holidays
Anyone else on the left-hand side of the room? Okay. Okay, item F, vacancy board appointment. So your motion to appoint, your for vacancy.
I'll make a motion to approve Gary McEwen.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that. Can you say that again?
Gary McEwen,
Thank you.
he's on the planning commission and has been on the vacancy board
Yeah, I know
for
who he is.
3 or 4 years. Item G, consent agenda for appointments. Adopt resolution 2024-1 to appoint Barbacane Thornton Co. LLC as the township auditor. Is there a motion to appoint?
I'll make that motion.
Here a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, number 2, code official, building property maintenance, Technicon Enterprises. Do I hear a motion to appoint?
I'll make the motion to appoint.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Director of Public Works, Don Johnson, who's here in the back. Thank you, Don. Do I hear a motion to appoint?
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Assistant Director of Public Works, Jeff Paulson.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Earned Income Tax Collector, Keystone Collections Group.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 6, Emergency Management Coordinator, Steve Jones, and he's here too. Thank you, Steve. Do I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Deputy Emergency Management Coordinator, Glenn Morgan.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Engineer, Technicon Enterprises Incorporated.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Floodplain Administrator, Jennifer McConnell, Technicon Enterprises.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 10, Land Preservation Committee, reappoint John R. Stoltzfus to a 5-year term expiring 12/31/2028. He has been on the Land Preservation Committee. I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 11, Manager, Warren K. Obenski.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Pension Plan Chief Administrator Officer, Warren K. Obenski.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Planning Commission, reappoint Melissa Needles to a 4-year term expiring 12/31/2027.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item 14, Planning Commission, reappoint Levi Stoltzfuss to a 4-year term expiring 12/31/2027.
I'll make make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
15, real estate tax collector, Chester County Treasurer. Your motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Recycling program coordinator, Kristy J. Eddy.
Motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
17, right to know the records officer, Kristy J. Eddy.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Secretary, Warren K. Obenski.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
19, Assistant Secretary Miranda Acosta and Kristy J. Eddy.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, item 20, Solicitor Beth Kohl of Barley Snyder.
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
21, Treasurer Peter Bars of Bars, Galley, Ammon, and Foltz.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Voting delegate to the county and state conventions board of supervisors, chair or designee. That would be,
Make a motion for any of the work or any of the staff.
is that, would that be for PSAS?
That PSAS and, Cato.
So designate who's the voting member. There should be someone who.
Go with
Attended.
PSAS this year.
And I can't go because,
Hey,
you can go, can you go do that?
I believe so.
Okay. I'll make a motion that it's Sal Giacomo.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Western Chester County Regional Uniform Construction Code Board of Appeals, John Stein, Technicon Enterprises. I hear a motion?
I'll make the motion.
I'll
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Zoning Hearing Board, reappoint Jeffery Emberger to a 3-year term ending 12/31/2026 by Resolution 2023-2. Do I hear a motion? Is that the right number?
I think the document's actually number 2024-2.
Yes, sir.
Because it's
sorry
already
about
24.
I might have, well,
Harold's
I'll
of,
Okay, Resolution 2024-2. Do I hear a motion?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
25, Zoning Hearing Board Solicitor Chris Hartman of Hartman, Valerie, McGovern, and Lutz.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Zoning Officer, Technicon Enterprises Incorporated.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, consent agenda for all other business.
So we have the documentation for items 1 through 8, 12, and 14. You have the option, of course, to go item by item, or to adopt those items en masse as the board so that's sees fit.
Okay, so we could make a motion for items 1 through 8, 12, and 14.
Correct.
Do I hear that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay.
That would take us to I, department reports.
Sorry?
That would take us down to I, department reports.
Okay. Department reports. Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, I'd like to make a letter received from Ken Ross from the food pantry. I think it was something nice to share. I'll just read you what he wrote. We cannot thank you enough for the vital contribution made to our holiday distributions at the Honey Brook Food Pantry, capping off a year of truly unprecedented need in the local community. Nearly 750 family visits involving over 2,500 people took place between Thanksgiving and Christmas this year. The people served increased 27% over last year alone and 42% over 2021. 1,600 donated toys were provided to 442 kids, and over 700 coats were distributed. Not to be lost in the numbers, though, are the individual stories of families finding themselves in particularly trying situations. Between December 16th and Christmas Eve, 4 parents found themselves in new single-parent situations, including their 10 kids. Of course, every situation is different, but the common theme was the absence of holiday food and gifts for the children. In each situation, including the Christmas Eve delivery, the food, toys, and coats needed were provided on time. Without your generous support these last few weeks, none of that would have been possible. On behalf of all those we serve, many thanks and best wishes for the best 2024 ever. Just a great group of people. Spent some time with Ken last year, and just keep them in your thoughts and your prayers, and also any contributions or anything that you can do to help out. It's a great organization for our community. So, thank you.
All right, moving on, item 2, Don Johnson.
Well, as you know, in the past month, we've had a couple big rain events. We've had some roads that we had to close that flooded for us, and then we had some washouts to repair, and pipes to clean out, and that's what we've been working on. Now we're trying to get ready for maybe some snow this weekend. So we've got a little bit of things to do before that yet. And we should be getting a new truck within, hopefully, the next 2 weeks. One should be completed for us. We'll have a mid-sized dump truck for mainly used in developments and stuff.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Stay safe.
Yeah. All right. 3, Kristy.
Thank you. A short report since we just met a few weeks ago. The recycling performance grant was submitted to DEP on the 22nd, and that is the data from 2022. The Honey Brook Community Partnership is considering changing its meeting from the second Tuesday to the third Tuesday at 4:30. That's not been decided yet, but they're discussing that. That would mean that I probably would have a report for the current month at each board meeting would be a month behind. But if there's any time-sensitive information, of course, I'll pass it along to supervisors. Lastly, the township offices will be closed on Monday, January 15, in observance of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Day. That's all I have.
Thank you. Okay, item 4, Warren Bensky, our township manager.
As always, just ask the board to accept my written report, and if there's any questions, I'm happy to speak with anybody and answer them. Thank you.
Land Preservation Committee, I know that Shane's here in the back.
Yeah, I'll be quick, not a whole lot of news. The 2023 applicants are still with the county. I need to follow up with Jeff Shellington prior to our next meeting about that. Applicants for 2024, we're still talking to. I've spoken with a number of them lately, the different events in the township. The next Land Preservation Committee meeting is Tuesday, January 16th, right here, it's 8 o'clock a.m. and followed by the Farmers Breakfast at 9 a.m., which is our biggest outreach event of the year each year. We've got a new caterer this year. We've got a speaker who's going to be talking about the Oxford Growers Auction. I apologize, I don't remember the exact name of it, but it's a company that the farmers put together down in the Oxford area so that they have a new market to sell produce and make some money. So if there isn't anything like that up around here, it might be neat if we can get some people interested in doing that up here too. In the meantime, yep, we're still working on making the township look more green and keep farming in Honey Brook. Thank you.
Thank you.
Question for Shane? How many applications are we currently talking about here?
We're expecting to hear about, I think, 4 or 5 from the county.
4 or 5?
4 or 5.
Is there a deadline on that, or just whatever they?
Usually the county has come to us and said, here are the people who've submitted their applications that we've approved. You know, if you guys are in also, then it gets kind of approved at every level. We work out how it's all going to get funded, and then the closing would happen the following year. So it's unusual that we haven't heard yet. I'm not sure what the holdup is. Intend to find out.
Thank you.
All right. Item 6, Planning Commission.
Yes, I know there's a couple of members here this evening. Happy New Year, first of all, everyone. I do have, we will have a meeting this month. We didn't have meetings in November or December in 2023, but we will have a meeting on January 25th. At that meeting, we will talk about, we received a plan submission from Telhi for a land development that was discussed. If you recall, there was some discussions over the past couple of years related to that and zoning approval related to that project. So they've submitted their land development plans for review at the Planning Commission level. We also received a sketch plan that we'll be doing an informal review, a zoning audit on that for a proposal on the frame property that intersects the borough and township. It's a mixed-use development that they're looking for zoning comments on for the zoning office. So we'll be preparing that as well and having discussion at the next meeting. I don't believe we have anything beyond that at this point. The deadline hasn't been hit yet, though.
Yeah, sure.
It has, okay. So, so that should be it for the next meeting.
I'm sorry, can you repeat what you said about the frame property?
The frame property, there's a proposal for a mixed-use development, and they're submitting a sketch plan, which is more of an informal, just a plan for discussion by the Planning Commission. They've asked the zoning officer and the engineer to do a review of the zoning aspects of that sketch proposal. So we'll do a review letter, and that will be presented to the Planning Commission for discussion and questions with the applicant at that meeting.
And roughly, what's the size of that?
I don't know because I was out of the office when it came in. I believe it only came in last week.
Yeah, it's 45 acres. They're looking to add some twin residences, a couple of single-family dwellings, and then 9 or so commercial uses.
Obviously, we haven't reviewed it yet. Struggling with the content, so thank you.
The frame property being the Route 10 and Walnut.
Route 10, yes, south of the borough.
Yeah, okay.
No, I'm sorry, what, well, I guess you don't want to do that review.
No.
Does anybody know that the proximity, is it all township? Do we know?
It's all assessed in the township, but some of it is actually in the borough, so both would.
Sorry. The entire property is assessed in the township, but some of the land is actually in the borough confines, so that we have to apply for those permits with the borough. And the township portion, of course, we review the township permits there, but, so it would actually go before both the township and the borough for review,
If it reaches.
if it reaches a formal submission.
Okay, Parks and Recreation.
Yeah, we haven't met in a couple months, so there won't be much to talk about Park and Rec. So we meet again on the 18th of January, and hopefully we'll have more in February. Thanks.
Thank you. By the way, I pulled in tonight and the tree looks fantastic. Item 8, Honey Brook Community Library.
I don't believe we have anybody from there, and we have not received
Okay.
It's really hard when the meeting's the first day of the year, the first business day. Next year, we have a few more days to work with.
Item J, new business, new appointments. Appoint Joeseph Hofbauer to a 5-year term to the Recreation and Park Board ending 12/31/28. Do I hear a motion to make that appointment?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Now we need to appoint someone to the NCCMA for a 3-year term expiring 12/31/2026.
Make a motion to appoint Eric Paulson.
Do I hear a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? The third thing would be appoint Acom Consulting as grant writer.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 2, motion to authorize or not authorize the payment of invoices with a due date prior to February 14, 2024 meeting as prepared by the treasurer and approved by the manager.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 3, motion to adopt or not adopt resolution 2024-4 designating the emergency service providers for Honey Brook Township for 2024.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 4, motion to authorize or not authorize the township manager to prepare the specifications and receive bids for co-stars quotes for the Public Works Department's annual material and supply requirements, equipment rental, lawn painting, and seal coating, as well as the 2024 liquid fuels paving project, and then deliver award recommendations to the board for award.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 5, motion to adopt or not adopt resolution 2024-5, naming depositories for township funds. It's required under second-class township code.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 6, motion to adopt or not adopt resolution 2024-6, establishing treasurer's bond.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Item 7, motion to authorize or not authorize the township manager to execute a contract with grant writing consultant for repairs to tennis and basketball courts at James Humboldt Park.
Make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Item 8, discussion of the West Brandywine Township official zoning map.
You want to hit the highlights, Kristy?
Sure. So we received this after our December meeting, and this will be discussed by the West Brandywine Township Board of Supervisors before we meet next in February. So if there are any comments regarding this map, proposed map, this is the opportunity for the board to make those comments. We will submit them, if you have anything to let them know. We will be happy to forward those along. The planning commission will also take a look at this. But this is kind of as a formality, a courtesy, as an adjoining municipality to receive the draft before it goes before their board for a vote.
I don't have any comment. I mean, I see that they have that trail that we had talked about designated as a trail on their map, future trail ordinance.
I think this is an official map, not an official zoning map. Is that?
Yeah, this is the official map, which is its own kind of separate planning tool that municipalities can enact if they choose to. It designates certain areas for potential future governmental improvements like trails, parkland, that type of thing.
Right.
And it gives the township some legal protections and to, have to work with landowners if there's development proposed where they have township things slated.
We wouldn't have any idea what the future intersection improvements would mean, do we?
No. Yeah, a lot of times, Sal, what they'll do is they'll identify just general areas that need improvement, but not necessarily identify the details at that point. But it gives them a planning tool to look at those areas and then prioritize them if they want to look into them in more depth.
But I think looking at the map, they've already done the 82 and 322.
Right, some of them may already be.
And also the Little Washington, Springfield Road, 322, so it only looks like there's that additional one up here at the end of the drive. But they're all along 322, so I assume they're going to not upgrades. Right. And that one is probably for that new development that's coming along at that roadway, so it might be turning lanes or deceleration lanes or something like that.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay. Okay, other new business? Do you have any other new business that we want to talk about?
There's nothing that I have.
I would just like to say that at the end of the meeting, we're generally all here signing checks. And if you do have a question and you want to talk for longer than 3 minutes, or you have something that's a little bit more in depth, I mean, we're sitting right here, there's no reason that you can't come up and talk to us and ask us a question. Okay? Okay. Old business. None.
Hang on.
I feel myself for a second.
Yeah, nobody caught it when I set the drafts out.
Okay, well, we know it's supposed to be on there. So, open forum, anyone on my right-hand side like to say anything? Kate?
Quick question, looking over the manager's report, I guess quick question for Warren. Says under Arborist Glen, item 14, a site visit was held with the developer in fall of 2023 to discuss woodland disturbance requirements with their consultants and experts. I was wondering who represented the township on that and advocated for our interests.
Is that one that you and I?
Yeah.
Yep. Mike Reiner and myself were there.
Yeah, as well as Brandywine Conservancy.
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyone else on the same side issue? No? Left-hand side?
Yeah, Valerie Schultz again. I just wanted to ask, what were the qualifications that you considered for Eric Wilson's appointment to the Sewer Authority Board, other than the fact that he's your husband?
He understands septic systems. Yeah.
Thanks for being open and transparent. Appreciate it.
Well, like I said, if you have a question, you can,
I'd like to have a look on it.
okay. Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
Make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. And do you want to read the upcoming meetings? The upcoming meetings, John always likes to read the upcoming meetings. What do you guys want to do?
On January 16th, the Land Preservation Committee is at 8 o'clock, followed by the Farmers Breakfast at 9. January 18th is the next Parks and Rec Board meeting. January 25th is the next Planning Commission meeting. February 7th is the Board of Supervisors Workshop meeting. And the 14th is our regular Supervisors meeting. That's all at 7 o'clock, all at 7 p.m.
Okay, thank you.
So I have a question. Why the rules of conduct? Why do we ban people from not participating in the meetings or many people participating? Presume.
Well, we what we decided was, if we allow people to, if we advertise that we're gonna allow people to talk on Zoom, and then there's some type of technology issue, which does not allow it to work, we could have some type of legal issue, which I believe Beth pointed out at our last meeting. And you can't verify if the person is in fact a township resident or not, if they live in the township, because they could black their camera out and be anyone from anywhere.
We're still going to mail or phone call to the township for any one of us to get an answer. There's no requirement of.
It's good. Thank you.
There's a lot more.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Nice to
Want people to participate more.
Sunday morning.
I want people to come and do it.
Yeah. Yes. My stepson's
Yeah, we do want to do that. You designated time and place for meetings, that's an issue.
I'm not sure he's.
The township doesn't do that.
Yeah.